into it. Okay, well, the first good news of the day is that you're done with your grammar book. Woohoo! Party,
I'm
party.
almost done.
Okay, except for Tyler. He's almost
Yeah,
done.
my assignment's gonna be late a little bit, but I'm almost done. I'm almost done.
Okay, so close. You got this. So we're not going to do any grammar lessons today. We're going to just dive right into the binder. And last week you guys wrote your letter. Um, was everybody able to finish that? I have not had a chance to look yet. Does anybody want to share their letter? Yes, go ahead, Tyler. Did you have a question?
I just wanted to say I'm almost done with mine.
Okay.
And then I had a question about so like I don't really have a specific person I'm writing to, so I just have like hello friend. Do I need to put a name there?
Oh, you can't think of anybody to write to?
I'll write to Bob. I don't have a friend named Bob, but I'll write to Bob.
Well, we all have a friend named Bob. I mean, if you're going to write to Bob, right? All right, yeah, just you can use that if you want. Or if you think of somebody you want to actually write to, you can do that too. Either way. Okay, Abby.
I didn't get to do mine because I have state testing this week.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? I defer to your mom on that. So whatever she wants you to do with that, okay? Because you guys all know your mom is, or whoever does your homeschooling, whoever it is your primary teacher. So if they want you to pause on my homework, I'm okay with that. But I'm not going to make that decision. I'm going to let them make that decision. Okay. So you're good. Okay. So we are going to, this is kind of cool. I love this next assignment you guys are going to do. We're actually going to stop in the binder too. And you're going to do a research paper about a Supreme Court case and a United States Constitution amendment. Did anybody do that last year? You remember doing that with me last year? I think this is the first time with you guys. Okay, cool. So, this is like your final research paper for this class. So I know we didn't complete the binder all the way to the end. That's okay, because you have completed enough lessons in it. You are ready for the next class. What if you choose to take another class with me, you will be ready to move on to the next level. And if your parents are interested or grandparents or whoever does your homeschooling, if they're interested in that, they can email me and we can talk about the next class if they want to do another one with me. Otherwise, you're good to go. So we're going to finish off with a big project. And this is cool because you've probably heard about this before, but this year in 2026, we are celebrating our 250th anniversary as a country. I see you nodding there. So if you know a little bit about American history, we were in an American Revolution in the 1700s, and we won that battle against Britain, and we became our own nation after we won that war, the Revolutionary War. So from there, we got people together, leaders in the community that wrote the Constitution, and that was the first ever for the United States of America to have this Constitution now that we make our own rules, we have our own form of government, and it's just exciting that we're alive during this time. I mean, 250 years, that's a big deal. So, in honor of that, we're going to look at the Constitution and study some of the amendments. We're going to look at all of the amendments, but we're going to choose which one you might be interested in learning more about. And then look at Supreme Court cases. Now, Supreme Court, does anybody know much about the United States Supreme Court? A little bit? Yes, no, maybe a little bit. Okay, maybe you've heard of it before, but you don't know much. That's okay. So in America, we have several levels of court system. Yep. So sometimes there's a crime that happens in your own city, And then it starts at a local court. If it's a crime, if somebody steals something and somebody's suing somebody because of they did something wrong or some kind of crime, it goes to those courts. But the court that I'm talking about is the highest court of our country, which means it's already gone through a lot of levels of court. When it gets to the highest level, which is the United States Supreme Court, that is where it affects our laws. Okay. So this is when they're looking at our Constitution, and whatever the case involves, the judges are deciding, does this person, or did this incident violate any of our United States constitutions, if it didn't violate it, if it's constitutional or it's unconstitutional. And then that affects decisions on how laws are made. So we're going to look at that. It's kind of cool because this is like real-time stuff, that's going on, and how our system works. So just to start off, I'm going to show you a quick little video to kind of give you an overview of how our Constitution is set up and how it's used. And then we're going to talk about it. So let me play this first.
Can one piece of paper control one of the most powerful countries on earth? Yes, it's the Constitution. It's more than old parchment. It's the rulebook of the United States. Before it, things were chaotic. After it, order, power, and limits all written down. In this video, you'll learn what the Constitution is, why it was made, what's inside it, and how it still runs the show today. Let's rewind to 1787. The U.S. had just ditched Britain, but didn't quite know how to run itself. They had the Articles of Confederation. Sounds official, but it was super weak. No president, no power to tax. So a bunch of leaders met in Philadelphia to fix it. What did they do instead? Tossed it and built something brand new. They created 3 branches of government: legislative, executive, and judicial, so no one could hog all the power. Congress makes the laws. It's split into the Senate and the House of Representatives. The president enforces the laws, commander-in-chief, head of state, decision-maker. The courts interpret the laws. The Supreme Court decides what's constitutional and what's not. Each branch checks the others. It's like rock, paper, scissors for power. The Constitution has 3 parts: the preamble, the articles, and the amendments. The preamble says why it all matters. It's because of justice, peace, and freedom. The Constitution has 7 articles. Article 1 covers Congress. Article 2, the president. Article 3, the courts. You get the idea. It also splits power between national and state governments. It's federalism in action. And the cherry on top, the Bill of Rights. 10 amendments that protect your freedom to speak, worship, and stay silent. Other rights include the right to bear arms, fair trials, and privacy. Later, amendments banned slavery, gave citizenship to all born in the U.S., and let women vote. So here's the problem. It was written in the 1700s. Does it still work for today? The world's changed, the Constitution hasn't. But guess what? It can be amended. In fact, it already has 27 times. That's how we got civil rights, voting rights, and more. Every law has to follow the Constitution. If not, it can be struck down. Big debates today, like privacy and gun laws, are all tied to the Constitution. Every student studies the Constitution because it shapes everyday life. It's called a living document because it still grows with us. Quick recap. The Constitution creates 3 branches, limits power, gives rights, and keeps evolving. Legislative makes laws, executive enforces them, judicial interprets them. Bill of Rights equals your freedom. Amendments equals our progress. The Constitution isn't just a piece of paper. It's a living rulebook that protects your rights, balances power, and adapts to a changing world. Whether you're debating free speech or watching the news, it all goes back to this. Now that you've watched the video.
Okay, we're going to stop there. So that's just a little overview of our Constitution and how it works with the court system. So as you know, you probably know this part. There's two sides in the court, right? There's the person that's suing somebody else because they've been wronged for some reason. That person that is doing the suing is called the plaintiff. And then the other side is the defendant. And the defendant is the one being sued, and he or she is defending himself in that case. And then there's lawyers involved, attorneys, there's a jury involved, and judges. So like I said earlier, there's levels of court, and we're going to go to the highest one. We're just going to bypass all those and look at the highest level of court. So the United States Supreme Court. I did email your family, your parents, grandparents, about today's lesson. I see that you have a piece of paper there. Hopefully they had a chance to print something for you. If not, I can just share my screen. But if they printed it for you, it should be a list of steps on how to do the research for the United States Constitution. So if they're listening in, they can print it real quick. I'm just gonna share mine. It looks like this. And you can, put your name on it. This is yours to write on. But this is a list. It's pretty long and involved. So that's why we're going to take our time with this research paper, because there's a lot of things to sift through as you decide on which case you're going to write about. Everybody in this class is going to write about a different case. And at the end of class, by the way, your last class is going to be on May 26th. It's the last Tuesday in May. So we really after today, only have 4 weeks left of class. Crazy. So at the very last day of class on May 26th, you guys are going to give a presentation. So be ready. And what I mean by presentation is I'm going to also teach you how to do PowerPoint. Maybe some of you already know that, how to do PowerPoint. But I'm going to teach you how to do a slideshow. We're going to use Google Slides, actually. But I'm going to teach you how to create that after you write your whole paper. And then the last day is just going to be us sharing it with each other, which is cool because we're going to learn about several different Supreme Court cases. Yes, Reagan.
How long is this paper going to be?
Good question.
Is it going to take 4 weeks to do?
So it's going to be 5 paragraphs long. So it's probably only going to take you 3 weeks to actually write it. And then the 4th week, I haven't decided yet. It might take 2 weeks.
3 weeks to
The
write
week
it.
before the last day of class, I'm going to teach you how to do the PowerPoint. So you'll have it all done by that week, which is, so let's see. Let me look at the calendar here just so you guys know. Yeah, we're going to split up the actual paper over 3 weeks. And then the 4th week, we're going to learn the slideshow. Does that make sense, Reagan?
Yes.
So it's going to be 5 paragraphs total. So you guys are used to 5. We're going to have 3 body paragraphs, and then we're going to add the introduction and conclusion to it. So any other questions before I move on? Okay, so this week, though, I'm going to have you just focus on researching. Like, we don't even have any grammar homework this week. You guys are going to focus on researching. Now, the email that I sent your family does say that they need to be involved in your research process because you need an adult to help you with this research. We're going to practice some here during class, but as you can imagine, some of the court cases are adult content, meaning things that maybe your parents don't really want you reading about yet, as far as like what cases are out there. So that's why I want you to make sure to involve your parent or grandparent or whoever does your homeschooling in the research process as you decide which one you want to write about, which case you want to write about. So on this list, I'm just going to walk you through it. If you can minimize your Zoom and open up your internet, and then I'm going to also share my screen so you can see what I'm doing at the same time. But anytime you guys have questions, it's okay to just raise your hand or even interrupt me. I'm okay with that. So just ignore my tabs here. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Hold on. Sometimes my Zoom gets in the way. Okay, just go to Google to start. Just open up a new tab. And on your instructions, if you have your instructions, actually, we're going to go to the top search bar in your internet browser here, and you're going to type in constitutioncenter.org. Constitutioncenter.org, and it'll look like this. So I'll let you guys get there. If you have any trouble, let me know. I can put it in the chat if that's easier. So, because I can't see you, Dominic or Ryan or Ramsey, just give me a thumbs up every once in a while so I know you're good, or unmute if you have any questions. I see that.
We're on the Constitution Center.
Good, thank you. So there is a tab here. Abby, I know you're on your iPad, so it might be a little tricky to do this again. I know you had trouble last time, but you can, I am recording this, so if you guys need to go back and watch it and pause it and do it with the recording, that's okay too. But there's a tab called the Constitution. Click on that, and then you'll see a drop-down menu, and you'll see again on the left side, the Constitution. Go ahead and click that. And let me know if you guys need any help, but I'm going to keep going, okay? So if I scroll down here, there's going to be a lot of links. You're going to see the preamble, which is the beginning of the Constitution. It is pretty awesome. In fact, I'm just going to click read the preamble. It's not that long. It's right here. I love it. You guys have probably heard it before. There's also a Schoolhouse Rock song that goes with it.
Wait, how did you get to
send it to you?
Preamble?
Let me go back. I'll show you. Yes, I see your hands. Tyler, did you have a question?
I just wanted to say this was a assignment for my history class a couple months back. I had to memorize the preamble and then say it, except it was all for extra credit.
Did you do it? And do you have it memorized?
Yeah, I did have it memorized.
Oh, I bet you still do. Reagan, I went back to that front page right here. And then if you scroll down, you'll see preamble. You see it on yours?
I'm not seeing it. I'm in, Our Story Continues. It's the National Constitution Center.
Oh, no, I think you're at the wrong website. It's just constitutioncenter.org.
Yep, constitutioncenter.org. That's what I did.
All right. Do you see the tab that says the Constitution on that website?
And National Constitution Center. It's taking me to the National Constitution Center. It said explore the Constitution, browse teaching. How about I just share my screen?
Hold on. Let me put it in the chat. Try going to the link in the chat. I see your hand there, Ryan and Ramsey. Hang on just a second. Click, see if that works for you. Okay, I put it in the chat, Reagan.
Okay.
And then Ryan and Ramsey, did you have a question?
Yeah, when we opened it up, when we first opened up the browser, where do we go from once we're in this right here?
So when you did you already go to constitutioncenter.org at the top?
Yes, we're here.
Okay, so do you see what I have here, like these tabs that say the Constitution, the Declaration, all these tabs?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so click on the Constitution, the first tab at the top. And then on the drop-down bar, you'll see the Constitution again. Do you see that?
Yes, thank you.
That's where I'm at. You're welcome. Thanks for asking. So if I scroll down on that page, I see preamble in big letters right here. So if I click read the preamble, here it is. How about Tyler? Go for it. Can you read it?
Yay. All right, I'm going to look away and memorize as much as I can.
See if you got it. Okay, see if you got it.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, domestic tranquility, and I lost it.
Oh, you were close. Ensure
Dang it.
domestic tranquility Right here.
provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. Do ordain and establish the Constitution for the United States of America.
Awesome. Okay, so that is one giant sentence that's an introduction to the Constitution. It's pretty awesome. There is a song out there about that. So, like I said, I'll share that link later. But let's go back to, let's scroll down past that, actually. Reagan, were you able to get to this? Okay, good. Just kidding. Let's scroll to the top. Nope. Back arrow. I want to go to that list. So click your back arrow. Oh, here we go. This is where I want you to go. So click back where you can actually see a long list of links. You guys see that on your side? You should be able to see amendments. Okay, good. And then if you keep scrolling, you're going to see all of the amendments. Like the video said, we have 27 amendments. So here they are. And there's words under each label of amendment that tells what that amendment is basically about. Like if you look at the First Amendment, freedom of religion, speech, press, assembly, and petition. Second Amendment, right to bear arms. Third Amendment, quartering of soldiers. That just means back in wartime, the soldiers were allowed by law, by the Constitution, to stay at anybody's house if they needed to have shelter for a night or two to in the middle of war, like especially the Civil War. So that still is part of our Constitution. We haven't had to use that, but you never know. And so on. If you keep scrolling, you will see those little subheadings of what these amendments are. Does anybody have any questions right now about what we're looking at? All right. Just for practice, I'm going to have everybody pick the First Amendment where it says First Amendment, freedom of religion, speech, press, assembly, and petition. Click on that bar and it'll open up another page. Let me know if you need me to slow down, but I'm going to keep going. Okay, I'm looking at you guys. If you have a question or you need help, let me know. When you click on that bar, okay, I see that freedom of religion, speech, press, assembly, and petition. It opens up a longer paragraph about what that means. It just says Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people to peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. So some of those words are like, legal terms and stuff, but basically we live in America. We have the freedom to worship whatever God we want to worship, and we can go to whatever church we want to go to. We're not going to get in trouble for that. We can go and believe whatever we want to believe. That is not true in other countries. It is true for America. And then, of course, the freedom of speech. We see that on the news quite a bit when people are expressing their opinions about things. In other countries, you can't even do that. So if I scroll down here, you're going to see some other links that say interpretations and debate. And then there's different categories here. Just pick the first one, read interpretations of establishment clause. Let's just click that, interpretations and debate. You guys with me so far? Good? Okay, I see you. Okay, good. If I scroll down here, we've got several paragraphs talking about what that means, a little bit of background about our early American settlers and where they were and how this got established, colonial times, the Church of England. If you kind of scroll through these, you can see this is like the history behind the freedom of speech and the First Amendment. And then there's something, if you keep scrolling through these paragraphs, you'll see something called the Lemon Test, and that's from 1971. So this is a history about the First Amendment, what it means. We're not going to read all of it today, but I want you to keep scrolling. Once you get to this bigger paragraph, I don't even know where I'm at here, but you could probably see as you're scrolling links in the middle of the paragraphs, and you'll see two names or something like this, Everson v. Board of Education. Whenever you see something with a V in the middle, it is versus, just like when we talk about sports, we have teams that verse each other. Well, that's true for the court too. So whenever you see a name or in something like a state or two names and you have a V in the middle, that is actually a Supreme Court case. So I'm going to have you just scroll to one that I want to open up here. See if I can find it on this. Oh, here's a good one. Scroll down until you see Burwell v. Hobby Lobby stores. Probably know about Hobby Lobby, maybe. There's one in Bakersfield. But if you scroll down here till you see that, you guys see that on yours? Yes, Tyler?
I got lost at the First Amendment.
Okay.
Freedom of... I thought I knew where to go, but I couldn't find it.
Okay, so what do you have on your page right now?
It's talking about the freedom of religion, speech, press, assembly, and petition.
Oh.
And then I clicked, and then I went down, but I couldn't figure out where it was. It just kind of stopped and went off to do its own thing.
Do you see, I went back. Do you see these red graphics and then some pictures of people? Do you see that on your screen?
Yes.
Okay, so click the first one. It's clickable. It says interpretations and debate, and it says read interpretations of establishment clause. See that one?
Yes.
Okay, click that. This is where I was at. These are the long
paragraphs. Okay, I can figure it out.
Yeah, then you gotta scroll. Kind of.
Okay, now I found it.
Okay, cool. And you see the one that has Hobby Lobby. Anybody else lost? You guys are good? Okay. So when you see that V is what I was saying, that's a Supreme Court case. This is back from 2014, which really wasn't that long ago. I mean, so let's click on it. So click on that link that has Hobby Lobby. You're going to notice it takes you to another website called OYAS. OYAS is a safe website. It is an archive of all the United States Supreme Court's cases that have ever existed. And so it takes you straight to that case. You'll see in the blue bar on the left, there's the name of the case, Burwell v. Hobby Lobby stores. If you scroll down in the middle, in the white area, it gives you some facts about the case. This is kind of the background, like telling you what the case was about. So I'm just going to read a little bit of it. Let me know if you guys need help finding it, but I'm just going to keep going. If I see a hand, I'll stop. The Green family owns and operates Hobby Lobby Stores, Inc., a national arts and crafts chain with over 500 stores and over 13,000 employees. The Green family has organized the business around the principles of the Christian faith and has explicitly expressed the desire to run the company according to biblical precepts, one of which is the belief that the use of contraception is immoral. So basically, this is going to go into a belief that the Christian faith has that about having children, basically. Okay. And let me see. It has to do with their care plan, and that one of the employees believed that it wasn't fair that they didn't provide insurance coverage for something that they wanted to have coverage for. I kind of forgot how this one goes, but basically, it's a religious belief. Okay, so Hobby Lobby believes a certain way about, families and children and having babies and things like that. Okay, this one might be a little complicated. So what I want you guys to do is kind of back out of that one. I'm going to change my mind on that one. So just hit the back arrow and you'll see we'll come back to this list that where we have other Supreme Court cases embedded in here. I thought that one was about something else, so we're going to come back to this. Let's go to this one. Do you see the one? This is a good one. Santa Fe Independent School District v. Doe. You guys see that link in the paragraph? It was a couple above the one about Hobby Lobby. Santa Fe Independent School District v. Doe. Click that one. Give me a thumbs up if you found that. Okay, good. Yeah, you guys are good. You're tracking with me. This one's going to be a little bit more related to sports and prayer. So this is telling facts of the case. Prior to 1995, a student elected as Santa Fe School Student Council chaplain delivered a prayer described as overtly Christian over the public address system before each home varsity football game. And then there's one Mormon and one Catholic family filed a lawsuit. This is what suit means. It files a lawsuit challenging this practice and others under the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment. So this is basically a student was elected to pray over the football games, and then there were families that did not agree with the Christian faith, and they sued this person, this student, probably his family because he was probably too young, but for doing this. Okay, so here's a good example. Now in America, we have that freedom of religion. He was exercising his freedom on a public school campus. Actually, it's yeah. Let's scroll down here to the question. Does the Santa Fe Independent School District's policy permitting student-led, student-initiated prayer at football games violate the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment? So every United States Supreme Court case has a question, and the question is whether it violates the Constitution or not, and that is what the goal of the case is, to figure that out. Now, if you look at conclusion, you see all these pictures of these old people. These are all judges, okay? These are judges in the United States Supreme Court system. You can see that there was a 6-3 decision. So 6 of them are in a regular picture color, and then 3 of them are kind of grayed out. That's because those 3 that are grayed out said no, but 6 of them said yes. So 6-3. Now there's 9 judges altogether. So that's why we have an odd number. That means that it will always have a majority. In this case, they said yes, that it violated the First Amendment. Now, if I keep, well, there's not much more on that page. Oh, I wanted to show you something else though on this page. If you scroll back up. Hi, Alex. I see you're just tuning in.
Yeah, I'm just gonna watch the recording. So
Yeah, this is going to be too hard to explain what we're doing right now, but we're getting ready to start our last big research paper of the class, and we're going to write about a Supreme Court case and an amendment to the Constitution. So we're going to take a break from the binder and just focus on that. But yeah.
Yay, no binder.
Huh?
No, yay, no binder.
Don't worry, it's only a 4-week research paper, and you have to create a presentation, and you're going to present it to us. So would you rather have that or the binder?
All right, Tyler,
I want the
calm
binder.
down.
I need the binder.
Oh my gosh.
The binder.
Hey, this is going to be better than you think it is, all right? If you look on the sidebar over here in the blue, you'll see where it says oral argument. It's kind of cool to click that, and I'm going to let you guys click that. This is actually a transcript of the actual court case and the actual discussion between attorneys and judges. So I'm just going to give you just a minute to play some of it. You can just hit play and listen.
Where is it?
We'll hear argument now in number 9.
It is in the blue bar on the left.
Ooh,
right
okay,
here.
okay.
Do you see where it says
Yeah.
oral argument? Yeah. Just click it and listen to it for a minute. I'm not going to have you listen to the whole thing, but you can see what it sounds like.
We'll hear argument now in number 9962, the Santa Fe Independent School District versus Jane Doe et al. Mr. Sekulow.
Mr. Chief Justice, and may it please the Court, Santa Fe Independent School District has adopted a neutral policy which simply permits student-led, student-initiated speech at football games. A policy which can be found in its entirety at pages 104 and 105 of the Joint Appendix allows for the individual student to determine the content of the message. That message may include a prayer at the student's discretion. The policy does not violate the Establishment Clause, and the United States Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit is wrong and should be reversed. The Santa Fe policy creates a venue for student expression. It is neutral as to religious or secular speech. The policy serves the important and legitimate goals of solemnizing the event, promoting good sportsmanship and student safety, and establishing the appropriate environment for competition. In fact,
restraints, are they not?
I think it's similar to the topical restriction that you would.
Okay, I'm just going to pause there. So if you could just pause for a second. It's pretty interesting. I know it's kind of boring. You don't have to listen to the whole thing. I just wanted to give you a feel for what it was like in the courtroom. If you scroll through this transcript, the further down you go, you can see more of a back and forth, almost like an argument between attorneys, and they're arguing over what they should decide. I don't know if anybody else thinks that's interesting, but I do.
I think it's cool.
Okay, cool. So you can go and listen to those debates. Sorry, I got off of that, but that's okay. I want you guys to go back to the National Constitution Center. It is constitutioncenter.org. That's the website. And I want to also show you another way to look up amendments. So go to that tab again at the top that says the Constitution. And now, instead of clicking the Constitution again, go to the right list and see where it says Supreme Court Cases Library. You guys see where that's at? Click on that link. So click first the Constitution at the top tab, and then it says dive deeper on the right side of that list, and it says Supreme Court Cases Library. Give me a thumbs up if you found that. Okay, good. Dominic and Ryan and Ramsey, give me a thumbs up too, so I know. Okay, cool. Good. Okay.
What do we need?
Yeah.
You couldn't find it, Reagan? Go back to the front page of constitutioncenter.org. You remember when we clicked on this one, this tab right here called the Constitution?
Yeah. Well, I never. You gave me the link for it.
Yeah,
I
you can
never
click on the link
clicked it.
again.
Okay. Let me go back.
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw your note, Ryan and Ramsey. Are you guys confused right now?
Here, you can't go.
Are you okay, Ryan and Ramsey?
It took me.
Yeah, we're good.
Oh,
It took
okay.
me to the OZ site.
So hit your back arrow on your web browser. Click back until you get back to the National Constitution Center.
Okay.
Okay, and now do you see the one of the options at the top says the Constitution? Like we clicked before.
Got it.
And then do you see where on the right side, deeper dive, or dive deeper?
Yes.
And then do you see where it says Supreme Court Cases Library?
Got it. Okay, got it. I'm in.
Okay, good. Phew, good job. All right, now if I scroll down, here's the whole list of Supreme Court cases, but I like this list particularly because it's got recent cases that have been resolved. So the first one here says 2022. Now, there are a lot of cases going on right now, but they're not complete yet. They only post the completed ones here. So there hasn't been a completed one in a while, but these court cases take time. By the way, 10,000 court cases are given to the United States Supreme Court system, and they only accept 10,000 a year, I should say. That's how many requests they get, but they only accept 80 out of 10,000. So if your case, if you believe it should go to the United States Supreme Court, it's not very likely that it will be accepted because they just don't have enough time in a year to see them all. So they choose 80 out of the 10,000 every year. I just want to tell you that statistic, which is interesting. On the left here, and it's okay if you guys are scrolling and looking through these. I want you to explore these websites. You'll see a list of topics here. If you keep scrolling, you'll start seeing the amendments listed here. This is just another way to search for a Supreme Court case and the amendment that goes with it. All right. Go back to the top of this list. This was another interesting one, and this was not that long ago in 2022. Does anybody remember hearing about a coach, a football coach, a high school football coach that knelt down to pray in the middle of the football field at the end of the game? And he got fired for doing that. That case went all the way to the United States Supreme Court. So Kennedy right here, Kennedy is the last name of the coach. And then Bremerton School District is the name of the school district. So he was a teacher, a high school teacher. And at the end of the football game, he decided he wanted to kneel down and pray by himself in the middle of a field, the football field, and then he got fired for that. So he took the district to court, and the good news is he actually won that case. So click on this bar right here, Kennedy v. Bremerton School District. Let's click on it. Raise your hand if you're lost or you need help. Okay, I'm going to keep going. This did not take you to OYES, but it is in OYES too. You can look that up later. But it's still in constitutioncenter.org. This case is here. So if I scroll down to the summary, I'm going to read a little bit of this case. All right. One key area of debate under the First Amendment's Establishment Clause is over the constitutionality of prayer in government settings, including public schools and legislative sessions. In 1960s, the Supreme Court ruled that it was unconstitutional for public schools to lead school children in prayer or Bible reading, even on a voluntary basis. These cases received a great deal of public backlash, but the court held its ground. This case tested the boundaries of those previous rulings. Joseph A. Kennedy, a football coach at a public high school, prayed at the 50-yard line immediately after games. Fearing potential lawsuits, the school district asked the coach to stop and eventually refused to renew his contract, meaning he got fired. Kennedy sued the district for violating his First Amendment rights. In a 6-3 decision, the court ruled that the coach's conduct was protected by the First Amendment. The court concluded that the school's efforts to prevent the prayer violated the coach's free exercise of rights, in particular by treating his religious expression less favorably than the post-game secular activities by other school employees. The court also abandoned, this is another case, decades old, addressing the Establishment Clause. So that's the summary of this case. If these cases are interesting to you, you can choose these cases to write about. So far, we've just been looking at the First Amendment. There's also the Second Amendment that has to do with guns and firearms. So if that is an interesting topic to you, then you can look at cases involving that. This is why you will need to talk to a parent, a grandparent, whoever's doing your homeschooling to help you sift through these cases, okay? That's why I'm not assigning any paragraphs yet. I'm only assigning the research for this week, okay? So you can relax because it's going to take you a while to sift through these Supreme Court cases to decide on which ones that you're interested in writing about. Does anybody have any questions right now before I go on to the next thing here? Okay. So you're getting a feel for these are like, public records. These are, everybody has access to these. It's not necessarily like a kid's site. So yes, Alex, do you have to go?
Yeah, I have a question. What
Oh,
on the homework? I know we're gonna do research, but ultimately, what are we gonna do? Like,
good question. So,
to write something about cases, or like, that's the part I don't get.
okay, so ultimately, I'll answer that question first. Ultimately, you're going to write a 5-paragraph research paper about one Supreme Court case. Okay, a Supreme Court case from these websites that I'm sharing with you. And then before that's the ultimate. And then we're going to do a presentation like Tyler, the spoiler alert. We're going to, just kidding. Everybody else
He
knows.
was late to class.
I know, not a spoiler, but you will be doing a PowerPoint presentation. Actually, I'm probably going to use Google Slides. I'm going to teach you how to create slides with points that you're going to share with the class. It's actually pretty fun. I know it sounds intimidating, but it's actually pretty fun.
That's cool. So this is gonna be our last assignment of the year.
Yes, this is the last assignment of the year. And by the way, you missed the last date of class is May 26th. That's your last class.
May 26th. Okay.
So that's 4 weeks away. So you're going to be working on this, as Tyler said, for 4 weeks. You're going to work mainly on the paper and then the presentation. And then the last day of class, all we're doing is giving the presentation so we can all hear about different court cases. That's where we're going. So this week, let me share my screen again.
Should all go eat ice cream after the presentation.
Yeah, there you go. We should. That would be fun. On your Google Docs this week, on your Google Classroom, I'm going to post this doc right here. And so this is your homework this week. You're going to see, fill in the boxes for all 3 choices. You're going to see choice 1 and a bunch of boxes, choice 2, bunch of boxes, choice 3. So you're going to research 3 different cases. Okay, you're going to give me 3 of your top 3 choices. The reason I'm doing this is because I want everybody in here to pick a different case. So if some of you want to do the same case, I'll have to choose something, one of your other choices, just to make sure everybody has a different case that they're going to present. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay, you're going to give me your top 3 picks, and then I'll tell you which one you're going to get to do. I'm going to try to get everybody's first choice, the one you really want to do, put it for number 1. Okay, and I'll see if we can get everybody's to do your first choice. The first box says amendment number. You're just going to type in, if you're talking about the First Amendment in the case, put 1, First Amendment. Write it in like this, amendment. If you're wanting to talk about the Second Amendment in the case, put Second Amendment. Put the name of the case in the next box. So earlier we were looking at Kennedy v. Bremerton School District 2022. So that's what I would put here. Kennedy v. Bremerton School District. And then in parentheses, the year 22. So you would just type in the name of the case. And then I see your hand. Hold on, Ryan and Ramsey. There are going to be 3 website links. You're going to put the link on this doc. The first one is going to come from theconstitutioncenter.org. Look up the case there. When you open it, you get to that page where there's all those paragraphs describing it. Put that link here. I need you guys to pause on the chat for a second because I don't want you to miss this, okay? This is another link. We're going to look at this one in a second here, supremejustia.com and then oyes.org. You're going to find those 3 links with that Supreme Court case. Okay, Ryan and Ramsey, did you guys have a question? You're still muted if you're talking. I can't hear you. No? Ryan Ramsey? Oh, I see your stuff in the chat. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Okay. Ryan and Ramsey, if you need to say something, unmute and tell me. If not, I'm going to keep going. I want everybody to open a new tab on your internet browser. New tab. You're going to be like me, opening up tabs like crazy, right? Just kidding. Nobody's like me. Okay. So supreme.justia.com. I will put that in the chat if that's easier for you to just click the chat link. I'm okay with that. Let's look at this one. Supreme.justia.com. Go to that site. You're going to see a lot of links on here. And this is when you're going to have your parent with you, grandparent, whoever is helping you. Surf through these websites. It's pretty cool to see all the things you can look at. You can search cases by topic. If you're interested in the First Amendment cases that deal with religion, you can search that way. There's also cases by date. Let's just click cases by date first. You're going to see all the dates here. Let's click 2026 and see if there's anything listed there. And there is. And there's a little summary of what the case was about. This one's from April 2026. Now, some of these have not been completed yet. So you want to make sure that a decision has been made on the case. Anybody have a question?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
How did you get there? So, yeah.
Did you click the link in the chat?
Yeah, I'm here. It is the Supreme Court Center.
Okay. Do you see where there's a button?
Now's your time. Not at the solo line. No, but at the what? So.
Yes, I see that.
Click that.
I clicked. It says opinions from 2025, and I'm not seeing what you're seeing on your screen.
Did you click cases by date?
Yep, take cases by date. I clicked 2025.
Oh, I clicked 2026. That's why it looks
2026.
Yeah, 2026.
Opinions from 2026.
Yeah.
Got it.
2026. And some of these that say docket number, they are not completed yet. So you want to make sure, because sometimes these cases take years to complete. So these might not be ready to. I want you to find a case that has already completed. So let's go back to those dates again. Let's pick 2025, see if there's any that's completed here.
Wait, make sure they say what? What do they have to say?
Well, see where it says
like to make sure it's finished.
Yeah. Let me find one that's finished so you can see what it looks like. Let me just show you really quick. Actually, you know what? It is going to be hard to tell on this page. You might have to actually click on it and look at it to see if a decision has been made.
Okay.
Let's see, I'm just going to pick a random one.
What if we do it in 2022? Because in the other website, it said that Only ones from 2022.
Yeah, I
released.
just clicked on 2022, actually. That's a good point, Reagan. And I happened to fall on this one, Biden, which was our past president, v. Texas. This is how you can tell, Alex, if it has a decided date. If it didn't, it would say pending right here. And that's how you would know it's not over yet, okay? That's the way you could tell. So check for that as you go through these court cases. Now remember, do this with an adult, because you can probably already see some of the content is adult content, and we want to make sure that your parents know that you're searching this and help you decide on a case that's appropriate to write about. I want to make sure everybody hears that. Okay. All right. So that is, and this paper that I emailed your parents or grandparents, make sure they print that for you. This goes through all the steps that we just did in class so that you can take your time on that. But your goal is to research with an adult, pick 3 cases that you're interested in, plug in the links on that Google Doc that I'm going to share in your homework for this week on Google Classroom. And then I will let you know before next class which case you're going to ultimately have, and then we're going to start writing next week. All right, so you're done with your grammar book. You don't have any grammar. You're going to spend a lot of time researching. So take your time on this. Spend time with it. Okay. Any questions before you guys go? This is new to you. I know this is new. So if you end up having questions, please reach out to me. The best way, the quickest way, is to have your parent or grandparent text me. I get that a lot quicker than the Google messages. Okay, so just have them text me if you have a question. I know you did that this week, Alex. That was fine. That was good.
Yeah, because I was like, man, I think if I text her, it's better to get it quicker.
It's quicker, but sometimes I'm in the middle of class and I don't see it right away. Mondays are super packed for me, so.
I was kind of like, man, I was gonna say, I didn't think she was gonna answer right away because I assume you probably have like an in-person class or something.
Mondays I work until 4. Like I have back-to-back classes until 4 p.m. like early morning till 4. So Mondays are crazy, but
Yeah, that's
the
all
rest
My
of the week
brother
better.
texts you all the time.
I know. Yeah,
share
so
an
feel free
iPad.
to do that. All right, you guys, that's it for today. I'll see you next week.
My
Bye.
work will be a little bit late, but I'll submit that as soon as I can.
All right, thanks, Tyler.
All right.
Bye,
All
Thank
right.
you.
See you guys. Bye.